Hey there guys, welcome back for another episode of Mortal Realms magazine review. So this week we are looking at issue 23, which contains the Liberators and a Prosecutor. So it'll be the first. I believe we get about 3 of these guys, and then we've obviously got the Liberators as well. So they all managed to come on the one sprue. So that's the 4 Liberators and the Prosecutor, obviously with the wings. And for this issue, or for this week's episode rather, of Mortal Realms Monday, we'll take a look at painting the Prosecutor. So we can see how to do these metallic angel-like wings. Right, so this week, or this issue, we get the Liberators and the Prosecutors. Painting your new models and some new war scrolls and battle plan. So, on wings of light and bolts of lightning, your Prosecutor and Liberators arrive with this issue. After you've read all about them, you'll build the first members of your warrior chamber with this issue's build and paint guides. Once the models are finished, you'll use their war scrolls in an exciting new mission, which sees them and a knight questor take on a horde of Nighthaunt. Since they are facing off against Glavewraith Stalkers, we've included a new war scroll for them as well. So, Stormcast Eternals Liberators. Liberators are the brave and stoic warriors who make up the majority of the Storm Host fighting force. They can always be found at the heart of the battle. So we've got a little bit on some famous, what do they call them? Liberators, that's the one. Some famous Liberators from some different Storm Hosts there. Then we've got the Shield Wall. Most Liberators wield a Warhammer in one hand and a broad tower shield in the other. They are experts at deflecting the attacks of their enemies. Together they form an interlocking wall of Sigmarite to meet the charge of the enemy. Once their shield wall has endured the enemy assault or pressed the foe back into close confines, the Liberators strike as one. Down fall their warhammers, and brutal, bloody justice is dealt to the foe. So then we've got the Prosecutors. Streaking into battle on wings of divine light come the Prosecutors. These blade-winged heroes bring the God King's wrath to his foes. And then we've got some lightning coming off and around the hammers. It might be interesting to paint the hammers with a lightning effect on them. I might see if I can do that with this guy. Prosecutors, winged celestial warriors. And we've obviously got some famed Prosecutors here. And they are part of the Angelos Conclave, and their specialist weapons are Celestial Hammers, Stormcall Javelins and Storm Surge Tridents. Their famed battles, the Siege of Klaxus and the Nexus Wars. And we've got a little bit about them here, obviously in particular focusing on the model that we get with this issue, which is also the focus of this week's Mortal Realms Monday painting video. Then we have the Newly Dead. The undead creatures that are most likely to be confronted in the wilds of Shyish are created from the bodies of fallen mortals, most commonly Dwarden, Aelves and humans. These creatures are commonly known as zombies. What follows are observation on these, the lowliest form of undead. So nice little bit of story based reading there, and I recognise this artwork. I think this was artwork that they used for the original Zombies box art, or at least a few editions back. I'm sure I recognise this piece. I'll have to look that up and see if I can find something old there, just to see if I'm right. Then we got a little bit on necromancers, dire wolves and corpse carts, and then dead walkers. Then we have the how to build liberators and prosecutors. Again, these are all push fit models, super easy these ones. From the looks of it, it's 4 components, 3 or 4 components. So we've got part 1, 3, 2 and 4, so yeah, 4 components. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 on that one, 1, 2, 3, 4 on this one, 2, 3, 4 on this one. So yeah, nice and simple, just 4 part pieces. My advice on assembling these guys: keep the shields separate so that you can access the bodies. The arm pose is nice and out of the way, so nice and easy to get to. If you're one for wanting to fit behind the head, paint behind the head easily, then go ahead and leave the head off as well, and then just clip a little bit of the neck away so that you can then slot that down into the hole in the top of the neck there, as it will be a little bit too wide to fit down in there once assembled without the head already in there. Obviously, because it's a push fit, the head fits in so that the body will clamp the head in position. But for painting wise, definitely leave the shield off, paint that separate, and then reattach it once done. Then we have the how to build the prosecutor. Again, I would recommend the same thing with this. The wings are built separately, so attach them separate, paint them separate. It will be easy then to get down behind this bit as well as the back of the body there. Otherwise, I would maybe attach it with a bit of blue tack or some super glue, very small amount of super glue that you can then break off if you need to get behind here. It's entirely up to you. But as for the arms, they don't appear to get in the way, but again, they are separate. They go on in a separate stage. So it can be glued in 2 different positions as well, so you can get a couple of different poses. I think looking at it, I'll probably go for this one. It looks like he's striking down to hit, so I do like the look of that pose. So yeah, there's that. Then we got how to paint the liberators and prosecutors, along with the paints that we need. You should have all of these paints by now. They would have come with previous issues. And obviously the way that I'm painting mine up will be the same as these anyway. So you can check out this week's video. I'll put a card up in the corner there and a link down in the description, and you can check that out on how to paint him. Then we come to the war scrolls. So we got war scroll for the liberator there, and obviously their abilities. Then we've got the war scroll for the prosecutors. As I said, we've got 1 at the minute, but I do believe in total we get about 3 or 4 of them. So obviously they've listed that as prosecutors, not prosecutor. And then we've got a little bit on their abilities here. It's nice that they do that with diagrams, just to explain the ability a little bit better rather than just reading it up. I'm a bit more of a visual learner, so you know, images and stuff is a lot easier for me to learn rules and to remember stuff than it is to just read about it, or especially to just be told about it. And then we've got the war scroll for the Glaive Stalkers there, along with their abilities. And then we've got the battle. So the warrior chamber descends. The hammers of Sigmar continue their push into the forests of the Heartwood coast. Reinforcements from the warrior chambers have now arrived and are scouring the forest for signs of the dead. So again, using the new battle mat that we've got. That's the Realm of Life battle mat that we got in the previous delivery, or one of the last 4 issues. I believe that may have been issue 19, 18, something around there. But yeah, that's using the new battle mats for all future gameplay. Right, and then coming up, we've got issue 24, where we will get our Lord Executioner, our Grimghast Reapers, and our Glaivewraith Stalkers. 5 of these guys to add to the previous 5 that we got in one of the earlier issues. And then issue 25, 2 new paints, Balthazar Gold and Agrax Earthshade. Now I actually use the Balthazar Gold for my true metallic metal painting style. I've actually decided that I prefer that to non-metallic metal now. So I use this as a base paint. Give that a wash with Reikland Fleshshade Gloss, or you can do Agrax Earthshade, and then highlight with Retributor Armour, and then edge highlight with Stormhost Silver. And that way the Balthazar Gold, you get the dark recesses with the Agrax or the Fleshshade. Then you come up to the Balthazar Gold, and that gradually transitions into the a nice broad highlight of the Retributor Armour, and then followed by just some well-placed spot highlights of the Stormhost Silver, giving a much more realistic gold look than just gold paint that relies on the reflection of the light on the metals. Anyway, that brings us to the end of today's magazine review. Thanks a lot for joining me, guys. If you did enjoy this video, please hit that thumbs up button. If you're not already subscribed, please hit that subscription button. You'll get notifications of further uploads if you ding that little bell there. And obviously Mortal Realms magazine, if you are a collector of that, or if you are following the series, every Monday I have Mortal Realms Monday, where we review that week's issue, as well as, or we review a issue, as well as the a painting of the model that came with that issue. And every Wednesday at the moment I am doing the Indomitus series. I'll put the link for that in the card just here, or down in the description below, so you can go and check that out if you're a 40k fan. And once Indomitus has been painted up, then I'll be moving that as a 40k part of the channel anyway, focusing on a 40k army, taking an army to completion, and then moving on through various armies and painting guides on how to paint up different models from the 40k universe. So if that's your thing, like I said, hit that subscription button. But that brings us to the end of today's episode, guys. Again, thanks a lot for joining me. Take it easy and keep painting those minis.